Good morning and welcome to Things Invest. Talk about investing, finance, and fresh loan. For today's tips and only, the investment top today would be Ethereum ticker ETH. First, just want to say happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you have a great week so far. Respect to Ethereum, on recording of 9:07 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Current trade $3,254, up about 1.84% so far. Respect to the equity side, we've been experiencing some bearish pressure stem from the macro catalyst, right? The Taliban take over Afghanistan media affectation that has been percolating on the equity front, driving some fear mongering. With respect to the crypto side, because of the anti-correlation relationship between the two, subsequently propel up across the whole crypto market, right? With respect to Bitcoin up about 0.76% and Ethereum up about 1.87% so far. And on the news specifically regarding Ethereum, collectively we've been experiencing a lot of positive news again on the recent front. And just to keep tabs on the 12 hours frame, with respect to an article that came out about 5 hours ago, Bazinga released an article talking about TikTok partners with Ethereum power-based Audius music streaming apps. So another stamp of approval from another tech giants on the commercialization of utilization for Ethereum-based type of products, right? We have heard on the artistic community with respect to NFT. Now we hear that on the musical side of the world as well. Another article that came out with respect to CNBC about 10 hours ago talk about crypto market tops about $2 trillion for the first time since May. And obviously with some of the key catalysts that's driving this major improvement into market capitalization is the London Fork debut, the B-Word Summit, and obviously a lot of the tech companies adaptations and the commercializations of NFT as well. And just to name a few, right? There's a lot more than a handful, if you may, on these catalysts on driving the surge of the market capitalization for crypto. And then the other one talking about with respect to overseas leads Ethereum NFT revival with 1.2 billion monthly volume, right? And this is an article talking on Decrypt, talking with respect to another commercialization adaptation with respect to NFT usage stem from obviously using Ethereum as a base of value proposition. And then the other one talking on Bitcoin is about 12 hours ago, talk about the NFT gorillas burns about 90K of Ethereum per minute. Another reinforcements on the NFT usage and the commercialization front. And then another news talking about just a regurgitation news with respect to Microsoft and Alibaba using Ethereum to fight against piracy. Right. In addition to the Microsoft and Alibaba corporate adoptions for Ethereum, we also heard from Walmart yesterday, and I would say, at least 24 hours ago, that they're looking to hire someone to take the lead on their crypto assets value proposition going forward. So I think this role could either be a product manager or a product lead, comparable to the ones that Amazon's looking for right now, to see how they can, obviously utilize crypto assets into their business model on how they can monetize or use that as part of the commerce infrastructure going forward. So another stamp of approval from obviously these tech giants or commerce giants in the US, if you may, right? So a lot of positive news overall. I'm gonna go through a technical analysis to see how's the trends going, right? It seems like the MACD is definitely fusing together. RSI is still overbought despite the sell-off that we're seeing on the equity side. But I do foresee some sort of a rebound on the equity side, which can subsequently do some anti-correlation effects to the crypto market. So let's take a look at the momentums going forward. So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. Right, so moving on to a technical analysis for Ethereum ticker ETH on recordings of 9:15 a.m. on the Eastern Time, current trading $3,239, up about 1.36% so far. Let's take a look at the SPY and the Nasdaq real quick. You can see that on pre-market we're down about 0.52% so far. On Nasdaq we're down about 0.2 as well. So we are, experiencing some bearish pressure, but we are testing the 52 days moving average, and also with respect to SPY, we still have some room left to fall because I think the SPY we do see a correction coming, but I don't think we are there yet completely because the chart is not completely set up yet, despite the RSI being overbought because we just recently fused up. So we have to really watch out on the SPY front because I do see a correction coming similar to the oscillations that we've been incurring historically. Right. So anyways, with respect to the equity side, I do foresee some sort of a rebound today, which wouldn't be surprising to me despite the negative news that I've been experiencing 2 days in a row now. Obviously stem from the Taliban overtake Afghanistan news. So with respect to Ethereum, you could see that we've been oscillating on a sideways fashion ever since the 7th of, basically Saturday, and we've been oscillating on a sideways fashion, pumping above the 3,000, right? And then ever since that, we're just struggling between the levels of 3,385, which is the next level resistance, but we never got there. The closest we got was like 3,335, which we are still like $50 away from the ideal target that we were looking for, right? So we've been hovering on a sideways fashion, bouncing up and down to the level of non-substantive consolidation zone 3,250, right? So looking at the MACD right now, if you look at it closely, you see that we're slowly forming right now on the downward curvature. On top of the fact that RSI is highly overbought, right? We are normalized a little bit. We're below the equator line. But this is not a good sign for us to be trading on a sideways fashion like this, right? Because eventually, with respect to sector rotation, to go into the equity market subsequently, in like late Q3 or early Q4, investors are going to be incentivized to liquidate some holdings to basically buy in on the dip for equity side, right? So I think on trading on a sideways fashion is not a good sign. And this looks kind of like a upward wedge if you are kind of looking at it historically. If you like think about this, it looks like an upward triangle, right? And when you see an upward triangle and trade on a sideways fashion, while at the same time the MACD is slowly crossing down and RSI is still overbought, without any specific large mega catalyst, it will be difficult for us to break through the next level, right? Again, the next level, we're still like $150 away to form a new platform, and then we need to consolidate from there for us to further leap up to the next level. And the next level is relatively high, right? The $3,575 level, which is the next level of substantiveness, right? And that's a relatively large surge for us to get there, right? But that's not, again, right? That level is not really substantive. The real level is really at the 3,835 per the technical analysis, right? 3,825 to be more specific, apologies, right? So I would definitely hold off right now. I think this is definitely a bearish sign, a bearish setup right now. I would hold off until we sell off back down to ideally 3,000, 2,750, 2,450. It needs to go through that oscillation, and I think the bottom is really around here, like 2,750 as a secondary bottom, and a real bottom for me is really 2,450. All right, so just to recap on numbers and technical analysis, with respect to Ethereum, we are in a relatively bearish setup right now based on just how the technical is showing us. So ideally, I will be practicing patience like we always should be, to look at the $3,000 level to firstly incur some risk, but not a lot, right? And I think 2,750 will be likely for us to get back down to that level. And ideally, I will start dollar cost averaging around these level 2,750, 2,450. Obviously, I will incur a little bit of risk on 2,750 and a little bit more risk at 2,450. Obviously, for the right reasons. But long term wise, if you're buying the current level, let's say you just want to hold for a long term, buy it right now wouldn't be a bad idea. But you have to think in that long term perspective. 9,800, 3.3 times your money if you buy at the $3,000 level. Right, so that's it for today. Respect my technical analysis on the Ethereum ticket ETH. Hopefully this is helpful. Hope you guys have a great rest of the Tuesday and the rest of the week coming. You'll probably see me again soon. I don't know if it's today because I do have a really busy day today. But I'll try to squeeze some time in to recall another one if there's needed or specific volatility that's coming. I'll definitely come back on the channel here to talk to you guys again. But yeah, feel free to give me a shout if you have any specific questions. Again, I'm always available. And stay tuned for this to come up. Take care. Bye.